There will be days when you feel like giving up, when everything you built seems to fall apart, when the world feels too heavy and your dreams seem too far. But listen closely, this is not the end. It's just the beginning of something greater, something only you can build. Champions are made when everything is going well. They are made when they refuse to quit during the storm, when they take one more step, even when their legs are shaking, when they believe, even when no one else does. You may be tired. You may be broken. You may be lost. But you are not done. The world only remembers those who kept moving, who faced their fears, who wiped their tears, and got up again, and again, and again. Because success doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to the ones who never stopped trying. Those who took the pain and turned it into fuel. Those who heard the word no and turned it into a watch me. Those who fell to their knees and stood taller every time they rose. So if you're thinking about quitting, remember why you started. Remember who you are. And remember this, the only way you lose is if you quit. So don't quit. Ever. There's something you need to understand today. Greatness isn't given, it's earned. It's earned through struggle, through failure, and most importantly, through refusal to quit. We've all had moments where we thought, maybe this isn't for me. Moments where the pressure was too much, the failures too many, and the voice in our head screamed, just stop. But do you know what separates those who make it from those who don't? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's grit. It's the deep fire inside that whispers, I'll keep going, no matter what. History is full of people who were told they weren't good enough, smart enough, strong enough, and yet they proved everyone wrong. Not because they had superpowers, but because they had something you have too, the ability to keep going when others stop. This video is not just about motivation. It's about awakening that unshakable will inside you, that part of you that refuses to be defeated. Whether you're struggling in school, trying to build a business, facing heartbreak, or just trying to get out of bed each morning, this message is for you. I'm going to share with you stories of real people, people who fell hard, who were told they would never make it, who stood at the edge of quitting, but didn't. And because they didn't quit, their lives changed forever. You're going to hear about a janitor who became a millionaire, a student who failed over and over until he passed with honors, an athlete who came back from injury when doctors said it was over. Each story is proof, not of miracles, but of what happens when you simply refuse to give up. So before you let go of your dreams, before you say, I can't, take a breath and watch this video till the end. Because by the time it's over, you'll understand one truth that can change your life. You were never meant to quit. There was a boy in school who was labeled slow by his teachers. He couldn't concentrate like the others, was easily distracted, and often brought home poor grades. But his mother never stopped believing in him. She pulled him out of school and taught him herself. That boy grew up experimenting, inventing, and failing over and over again. His most famous failure? The electric bulb. He failed over 1,000 times before finally creating a working model. When asked how he felt about failing so many times, he said something legendary. I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work. His name? Thomas Edison. If he had quit after the first 10, 100, or even 999 failures, the world might have never known light as we do. Lesson: you don't fail when things don't work. You fail only when you quit. Wilma was born premature. As a child, she had polio and wore a metal brace on her leg. Doctors said she would never walk again. But Wilma was determined. She pushed herself. Every painful step was a fight, not just against polio, but against the voices telling her she couldn't. By the time she was a teenager, not only was she walking, she was running. And not just running, she became the fastest woman on earth. In the 1960 Rome Olympics, Wilma won 3 gold medals in track and field, the first American woman to do so in a single Olympic Games. Lesson: your start doesn't define your finish. Don't quit, even when the world says you can't. Steve Harvey, now a world-famous comedian and TV host, once had nothing. He was homeless, living out of his car, struggling to make people laugh in small clubs. He was broke, tired, and defeated. There were nights when he cried himself to sleep, doubting whether he should just give up. But something inside him wouldn't let go. He kept performing, kept failing, kept getting back up. Today, Steve is worth millions and inspires millions. In his own words, "If you're going through hell, keep going. Your success might just be one more step away." Lesson: rock bottom is not the end. It's where you build your foundation. She was a single mother, living on welfare, struggling with depression. She had a story in her heart about a young wizard named Harry Potter. But no one believed in it. Her manuscript was rejected 12 times by publishers. She could have stopped. She could have said, "Maybe they're right." But she didn't. She kept sending it. One small publisher finally said yes. Today, J.K. Rowling is one of the richest authors in the world, and Harry Potter is a global phenomenon. Lesson: the world may not see your value yet, but that doesn't mean you stop. Colonel Sanders wasn't successful in his youth. In fact, he was 65 years old when he decided to start his dream, a fried chicken recipe he believed in. He knocked on over 1,000 doors, trying to convince restaurants to use his recipe. Rejected again and again, most people would have given up. But not him. He finally found someone who gave him a chance, and that's how KFC was born. Today, his face is on one of the most famous fast food chains in the world. Lesson: it's never too late to chase your dream. And it's never time to quit. So now you've heard the stories of failure, pain, rejection, and loss. But more than that, you've heard stories of grit, of courage, and of people who refuse to stop. People just like you. What made them special? Not that they never fell, but that every time life knocked them down, they stood up one more time. You see, quitting is easy. Anyone can give up. But the strongest people, the ones who truly change the world, are the ones who keep moving forward, even when their legs are shaking and the path is dark. You may be in a tough place right now. You might feel tired, unseen, unheard. You might feel like the world doesn't care, like your dreams are too far, like nothing you do is working. But let me tell you this, straight from the heart. You are not done. You still have fight left in you. You still have breath in your lungs. And if you're still breathing, you're still in the game. Every step forward counts. Even the small ones. Even the messy ones. Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait for easy. Just take the next step. And then another. And then another. It won't be instant. It won't always be pretty. But if you don't quit, one day, you'll look back and realize that the pain was worth it. The tears, The nights alone, the failures, they weren't the end. They were just the beginning of your rise. So this is not just motivation. This is a reminder that you have greatness inside you, that you were built to endure, that you can write a story that the world will never forget. All you have to do is not quit. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Now, before this video ends, take a moment. Think about that dream you've been carrying, that goal you gave up on, that version of you that still wants to rise. Bring it back, dust it off, and give it one more try, because you're not alone in this. We're walking this path together. Every person who watches this, every soul who refuses to stay down. We're a community of fighters, of believers, of dreamers who don't know how to quit. If this video spoke to you, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe, not just for us, but for every fighter who needs a voice, a push, a reminder that they are not alone. And until next time, keep walking, keep believing, and most of all, don't quit, ever.